doing a thing. We're doing a thing. Good to be back here. Good to be back in the Midwest. I am from the Midwest. That is the part of the country that likes to remind you that there's no shortcuts in life. And then in the same breath tell you how much the Powerball is up to. There's no substitute for hard work. Just remember that, Kyle. It was 100 million? Or you'd be dumb not to buy a ticket. You'd be stupid not to get one. Now that the odds are even less in my favor, put my whole paycheck on it. I don't understand why the people that play lottery aren't more afraid of lightning. Like, if you believe in those odds, shouldn't you be like... I got $20 on the pick 5. Is that a storm? Oh, shit. Why do you only believe in good luck? I'm 42 years old, and my name's Kyle. Yeah, you know what that means, right? That means I'm on borrowed time. That's what that means. There's no such thing as an old Kyle. You're trying to think of one right now. You can't, because there isn't any. Nobody went to Grandpa Kyle's for Christmas this year. Doesn't work out that way. Kyles die in their early 20s in free climbing accidents. The way God intended. That's how it works. Right now there's 5 different Kyles that are just piles of bones inside of Patagonia windbreakers, scattered around the base of Half Dome, waiting for the spring thaw so a hiker can find them. Yeah. Kyle dies, Red Bull sends flowers to the funeral. That's what happened. R.I.P. K-Dog, gone too soon. What was the cause of death? Wicked air, bro. Wicked air. Metal Militia gonna miss you. People are like, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know, I'm not supposed to be here today. Pages in my book are unwritten. Trying to get it together, I'm trying to practice moderation, which is the least interesting option for an aging partier. Nobody likes that guy. Nobody likes the guy who gets their shit together. What you gonna do tonight, Kyle? I'm like 2 beers, drive home, watch Forensic Files. Fuck that guy. Nobody like that guy's no fun. This sensible jackass. Because you got 3 options. You got like moderation, or you get totally sober, you know, maybe even go into program, and that's interesting and mysterious. And somebody's like, oh, I just don't drink. Like, you never drank? No, I'm in AA. Oh my God. Oh. What happened? Did you kill somebody? You probably can't tell me. Ooh, you can tell me. Oh my God, it's such a mystery. And mystery's sexy. Look at that sexy, mysterious man. Not drinking in the corner. I want to know him. Or you could just keep partying way past an acceptable age and scare your loved ones. Yeah, you know, you could be, you're the space shuttle and your peer group are just the booster rockets. Accompanying you on a way to a mission you won't return from. You get to the right age and altitude where they all start peeling off, like, I gotta get up for work tomorrow, I got kids. And you're the space shuttle just cruising towards the moon going, let's find some coke! Everybody's got that friend. Man, can you believe Billy died? Yeah, absolutely. That guy's a real maniac. Yeah. Shit, I had Bill's funeral written on a Post-it note, and I was just moving that around my calendar for like the last 2 months, because I knew that was going to be a floating engagement that I was going to ask for time off of work for. I don't know. You gotta hit rock bottom to sober up. That's how everybody sobers up. I've never hit rock bottom. Well, maybe I have. It's all perspective. But I've never, you know, somebody else's rock bottom might have just been me going, I don't think they're gonna let us back into that water park again. I don't think I've ever hit rock bottom. I hit the sides all the time. All the time I hit the sides. But every time I get to a low where I think this has got to be rock bottom, this whole new realm opens up. It's like, ooh, get the headlamps and the climbing gear. We're going spelunking. We're going in search of this elusive rock bottom I keep hearing about. This fictional land. My rock bottom, I took 3 weeks off of drinking and doing anything. That was the saddest moment, was Saturday at the end of 3 weeks being sober. That was rock bottom. That was... It was a Saturday night, and I was just cleaning my bathroom in absolute silence. I was like, this isn't living. This isn't how you celebrate freedom. Doing chores on Saturday night, that's okay, but do a bottle of wine, Motley Crue's greatest hits, you know? Too Fast for Love, squirt, squirt, squirt. Just Yosemite Salmon, 2 bottles of Tilex into the ceiling. Oh man, this stuff says using a well-ventilated area. I don't even have windows in this bathroom. Oh my God. Oh, I gotta take a walk outside. The floor's sliding under the wall again. That's how you do it. On my knees with a Clorox wipe, wiping off my own piss dribbles. Like, well, I guess this chore's done. Like, this is how inmates pass the time. That's not how someone who celebrates freedom. If you're not drunk cleaning your bathroom, what are the troops even fighting for? I'm just saying. How do you even call yourself an American? I just try to get away. I'll go camping because then my phone won't work and I can't even get caught up in any of the bullshit. But even then, even no matter how far I try to run away from negativity, it's always going to haunt you a little bit. It's always going to be in the shadows somewhere. Go camping. I'll hike all the way up to a waterfall. I'll sit in front of that waterfall for hours. Now, I'm not a God-fearing man, but if I was going to believe in something, that would be the moment when you're staring at a waterfall alone, watching like, oh man, this is whoever created this, that's their tapestry cascading over their own creation, and this is amazing. But then there's always going to be a voice like, hey Kyle, what if waterfalls are just rivers that are trying to kill themselves? You're like, God damn it, man! Why can't you just let me have this? I can't have one nice thing. Where I go camping, there's a lot of bats. I like bats. I like seeing bats. I think they're a maligned creature, and that's unfair because bats, first off, bats eat mosquitoes, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So right on there. Give me them bats. Give me them bats. I love them. And also, bats gave me this. Now, this just puts a smile on my face. And I don't know if it's the same for you, but if ever I feel low, I think about this. Because I was at my campsite one night, and it was dusk, and the bats were coming out. And I was just, like, looking at the bats, just thinking about them. I was like, man, I bet you bats with big dicks don't get a lot of sleep. And that... It's more the imagery than the thought. Bats sleep upside down, and that's... And you also have to imagine a comically large penis. Imagine a cute little bat with his cute little bat arms, just trying to get some sleep, and his big old crank just hanging down, hitting him in the face. He's like, Imagine the next day he's hanging out with other bats, and he's just got that comically large. He's like, oh, it looks like a blessing, but it's a curse. I'm too tired to do anything with it. Also, I don't have the cardiovascular system put into place to maintain an erection. If I get a boner, I'll die. You understand? My whole life is just being a bat, eating mosquitoes, thinking unsexy thoughts just so I can see another day, which I can't because I'm blind, because I'm a bat. That even seems like a country fried phrase that should have been out already in the world. You're like, oh, you look exhausted. I'm more tired than a big dick bat, I'll tell you that much. Like, that rolls off the tongue. I don't think I invented that. That comes out too easy. That, like... I feel like I saw that needle pointed at Cracker Barrel or something. Like somebody snuck that in amongst all the wholesome stuff. I think I read that in a farmer's almanac. I was like, that's old prospector lingo. Some guy coming down from the mountain with pots and pans tied to his overalls. Emmett, did you find anything? No, and I'm more tired than a big dick bat for looking. Even if I fade away in this world, if that phrase enters the lexicon with any kind of regularity, I consider my existence a success. So please use that. Please use it at work. Use it at work on Monday. Tell your boss. How's your weekend? It was fun. I mean, I'm more tired than a big dick bat, but it was a good time, I'll tell you that much. What does that even mean? Honestly, I kind of forgot, but it just rolls off the tongue. It's crude but eloquent at the same time. There was like a hot minute where being a comedian was cool, and then everybody took their dicks out. Like, I've never sexually harassed. I don't think I've ever sexually harassed. But it's not that I'm unsure, but it's not for me to say. You don't get to say that about yourself. You know, you need somebody else to vouch for you. You don't call yourself. That's like calling yourself a rad dude. Oh, you most certainly are not. You need third-party verification. You know? Personality witnesses. Get a notary in there. Get something stamped. That's what I say. I don't think I've ever sexually harassed anybody. I have pet the fuck out of a service dog, though. And I don't know if that's part of the same conversation. But if it's about consent, I didn't ask. I just got right in there. I was like, fuck your vest, girl. Get over here. Yeah. Yeah, get your scritches. Ha ha. Ooh, if I wasn't supposed to pet you, you wouldn't have been a dog. That's how the world works. That's how the world works. Pet you. Ooh, look at your leg going. Look at that leg going. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, your vest says no, but your body says yes. Yeah. Ooh, shh, shh. Don't get nervous. He can't see us. Come on. Come on. I don't mess around with the seeing eye dogs. Those are trained professional animals doing a much valued skill. But if you have an emotional support dog, I'm gonna pet that dog. Because we all have emotions. That's what separates us from the psychopaths. I have emotions, therefore I need to pet your dog. How else can I prove to you that I'm not a psychopath? Unless I show affection to your dog. Let me pet your fucking dog! There's some things I understand and some things I don't. The whole concept of white privilege that's been coming up, I didn't understand it at first. I'll be the first one to admit. I was like, no, I think if you just work hard and you get what you get from working hard. But that's not true at all. And I'm a shining example of that. But I didn't realize, not for the most obvious ways though. It's not because the race, it's because I believe in ghosts. That's how I know I have white privilege, is because I believe in ghosts. You know, that's what you get to believe in when you don't have any other problems to worry about. That's the kind of shit you get to believe in. People are like, Kyle, what about the disappearing middle class? What about ghosts? That's how you know life is fine. That's why if I ever meet a black guy that believes in UFOs, I'm like, man, you're taking on a lot right now. On top of everything else you gotta worry about, you're throwing extraterrestrials in there? That's just ambitious. You are biting off a lot. That's gotta be the loneliest place in the world, is the one black guy who keeps getting abducted. Because where's his community, you know? They got other things they're concerned with. You know, he's trying to go into their, town meetings, but their town meetings are, listen, we have liaisons from the police department coming out because we have to talk about the racial profile. It's unjust, it's unconstitutional, but we also have to agree that we have gang violence in our community and we need to take care of the young ones and look after them so they don't fall victim to becoming in these gangs. And if we come together and have a dialogue, and he just bursts the door open to the meeting, it's like, they got me again every Thursday. Every Thursday, they know I walk to the store, and they suck me up into their ship. I tried going on Wednesdays to throw them off, but they can read my mind. So I just go on Thursdays because it's more convenient for my schedule. But they suck me up into the ship, and they do all the stuff that you heard they do up there. And so now, and they're just like, not now, Daryl. We got real shit to worry about. And he's like, oh, you say Black Lives Matter, but I'm here telling you about mine. And then, nope, now I just got to get used to having weird Thursdays until whenever, I guess. I don't know. Guess I'll just plan on being sore on Fridays. And nobody wants to listen to me. You just try to be the best person. I was traveling with the missus over the holidays. I kind of took a few months off of comedy, and I was out with the missus. We went to Europe, and I love traveling. I think that's a great way to crack your mind open, see some other cultures. I'm not good at it in the sense, not that I can get on a plane and sit there, but I'm not a good representative of America when I travel. Because I still, as much as I want to think I'm cultured, I get to some place and then I always fuck something up. So we went to Spain, and Spain's amazing with a Gothic quarter and this architecture. And I watched a woman, she was walking her dog, and her dog did something, and she started to yell at her dog in Spanish. And my first thought was, dogs don't know Spanish. Come on, lady, look at your dog. Dogs know English. That's what dogs speak. Dogs speak English, you dumb Spanish lady. Come on. You got a cat? All right, cat might be a little more continental. I can see a cat swiping through some Duolingo lessons, being curious about them. Cats are curious, and they might want to learn another language. Dog, look at the dog. I'm getting more sensitive. Realize that. You don't know how you're gonna develop as a human being. You don't know what's gonna come. Because I'll still watch skate videos online, because I still am impressed by that. But now when I watch any skateboard videos, I get sad when the security guard shows up to kick him out of the spot, because I know that they're gonna be mean to him. And that doesn't touch down for everybody in here, but there's enough 40-year-old dudes wearing Vans going, yeah, we were real jerks to those guys. And they were just doing their job. Not the only one in my generation that feels that way, has some remorse. I did. 10 years ago, I watch a video and I'd just be like, fuck yeah, Toby, you got this. Nollie heel flip that 10-step. You're going to get that shoe sponsorship and you're going to go pro and I can feel it. That's what's going to happen. And you're going to fuck this narc. He doesn't know about dreams. He probably never even had dreams. This guy was born old. Look at him. He's all Benjamin Button-ass looking motherfucker. Hit him with your skateboard when you're done because you're going to have good lawyer money after this. You're going to be rich. You're going to have the kind of lawyer money to get you off. So assault this guy right now. And I watch that same video now. I'm like, Toby, you got no natural ability, all right? It's taken you 100 times instead of 10 times to pull it off. You have persistence, and I'll give you that. But you got no natural skill set, and you're landing all wrong. Your knees, you're gonna want to save those knees because you're gonna want to golf when you get to your 40s. I know that sounds real weird. I know it sounds real weird, but trust me, man, that's where we all wind up, all right? You can still burn one, drink some beers, but you want to be able to walk through them links. You want to be them old asses in the cart. So save your knees. Focus on your strengths. You're a great artist. Maybe they'll let you design the bottom of the skateboards, but this isn't where it's going to come for you, all right? Also, this guy's a retiree, all right? He's got no pension because the plant closed down and left him with nothing. He's making minimum wage, just trying to keep his model train dream alive, and you're being an asshole right now. That's the truth of the situation. This guy's a veteran, and you're being disrespectful. That's what's happening right now. Because I empathize with the model train guys more than I empathize with the skateboarding youths, and I didn't know that was going to happen. You don't know. You go to bed G.G. Allen, you wake up Jimmy Buffett. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know how life's going to turn out, so stop acting like you do and embrace the change. I don't have model trains, not yet. I'll get there soon. It's I know why it's attractive, because it's little tiny worlds that you're in charge of. It's a predictable world that you can handle. With everything else that's going on outside in the world, I can see why that's a safe haven for some old timers. Everything that's out there, everything that's changing and not in the way they like it, go down to that basement and work on fucking Steve's Town. Spend 8 hours a day just painting leaves. Like it's gold and red. Always autumn in Steve's Town. Steve don't like winter, Steve don't like summer, but Steve loves the fall. Met my grandson's boyfriend the other Oh, time to put another church into Steve's Town. That's what we're talking, put another church in Steve's Town. Not saying I agree with it, I'm just saying that I get why they have it. So I don't have model trains. I got remote control cars, same thing. Little world, and I'm the boss. And that's all I need. Tiny world that I'm the creator of, and that brings me happiness. You catch me on a day off, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just standing in the alley behind my apartment. I'm wearing shower sandals, some sort of free t-shirt, and basketball shorts that should have been retired decades ago. I don't know why I can't throw things out like that. Like that's gonna be a resource during the apocalypse. Hang on to shitty basketball shorts where the elastic, like you pull the elastic out, and there's no chance of it coming back. It just stays out there like a weight loss success story. It's like when the elastic's so old it just flakes off like a good croissant. But instead of throwing it out, I'm like, that's why that drawstring's been in there the whole time. Reserve chute, baby. Cinch that up over my belly button. I got that tied tight. I got that cheese cutter up here. Guts turning red from lack of circulation. The elastic is drooping down just like a blue whale's lower lip. Just trolling for krill. Give me them shrimps. And an absolutely arrestable amount of pubic hair between the two. I'm not wearing underpants. It's my day off. I don't soil my delicates on a day off. I'm out there just driving my cars back and forth like, who's crushing this life? You are, Kyle. Fuck yeah, dog. Look at him go. I could do that because I have a woman in my life who loves me unconditionally, and that's a dangerous place to be in because it gives you the confidence to be that kind of asshole in the world. I've been accepted by one other person in the universe. Suck my dick, universe. I'm living this way now. That's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place. One person loves me. Well, everybody, get a load of this. Got neighbors asking me, like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm getting laid. Don't worry about me. Like, that's not even the question they were asking. They're asking about your mental health. Like, my dick's wet right now, dog. It's wet right now. My parents are still, they're still alive. And they're still together, which is good, I think. I just like they're old, and I don't know if you have old parents and it's trying to comprehend, like, is it senility because of their age, or is it there's some sort of ultimate graduation present that you get for living long enough that you just don't have to give a shit anymore? And I really hope it's the second one, because they've entered that stage of just like, yeah, nothing matters. And it's kind of admirable if that's it. Hopefully they're just making a conscious effort to be like, nah, I don't care. Yeah. It's my dad clipping his toenails at the kitchen table next to a snack. Like, what are you doing, man? It's like, it's my house. I'm like, that's not an answer. Have some self-respect. But like also you know, they raised me. I thought they did a good job, and I remember lessons that they taught me to be a good person. I'd listen to some of them, but you know. But now the stuff that they taught me to be a good person, it's just gone. You chew with your mouth closed. And now I've seen every meal my mom's eaten for the last 10 years. They came to visit me, and I was excited, because rarely do they both come out to visit me at the same time because of schedules. I was excited. I'm like, well, what do you guys want to do? You want to go to the beach? Beach is a classic. Beach, everybody's happy at the beach, you know? We're going to go to the mountains and windy drive up the mountain. That's not something you get in the suburbs. You know, maybe we'll go to the desert. Ooh, desert's spooky, mysterious. And there's out Midwest there, like, they got bowling? I'm like, yeah, they got bowling. So we went bowling. We went to this bowling alley. Now we roll up there, all the lanes were taken up, so we gotta wait for one to open. So we're at the bar having drinks and snacks, as you do. And this bowling alley, it was like an old-timey bowling alley. So instead of having the little inflatable tubes for when you know how you want to bowl, but you don't want the challenge. Oh, I love bowling, but it's just so difficult. You can put those inflatable tubes so you can bing-bong your ball down to the end. Well, this bowling alley, since it was old-timey, it didn't have those tubes. What it had were these mechanical rails that were hidden underneath each lane, and somebody would just press a button, and it'd be like, lane 3. Somebody push a button, and those little rails would just click, 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 and just steampunk their way up. And I thought that was pretty neat, because I hadn't seen it before. And neither had my mom. And she let everybody know. And the way she did that was from the bar of the bowling alley, she was pointing at the lane where those rails were going up and just bellowing, just going, I never seen them do that before. Did you even know they could do that? I didn't know they could do that. Just astonished at this turn-of-the-century technology. Thing is, the reason that those rails were going up on that lane is because there was a physically handicapped man bowling on that lane. Jump ahead if you want. You're not gonna get extra credit. He had a walker. He would shuffle up to the foul line. His friends would hand him a ball. He would drop the ball. Half hour later, would knock down some pins, and everybody would cheer. It's the very thing, like, Stevie got 5, and a whole bowling alley, like, hell yeah, Stevie, 5, nice one, buddy. Now, I know that my mom was pointing at the rails. She knew she was pointing at the rails, but because of the distance from where she was pointing from, nobody else in the bowling alley had any goddamn idea she was pointing at the rails, because they just saw a 70-year-old woman with a shock of white hair and a Bud Light in one hand and an incredulous finger in the other. just bellowing with the voice of 1 billion Marlboro Ultralights. My mom sounds like me. Just pointing at a handicapped man bowling in disbelief. And saying, did you know they could do that? I didn't know they could do that. Did you? I've never seen them do that before. I didn't know they could do that. And I saw that and I was just like, ha ha ha. Oh, Mom. Maybe we don't point. Maybe we don't point because pointing's rude. Pointing's rude. You know how I know pointing's rude? You taught me that. You taught me that pointing's rude. I was little, we were at the mall, and a guy had a thing, and I was like, Mala, and you said, we don't point. That's what you said. You said we, but you meant me, and I appreciate you for that. You made it about us, not about the individual, and that was a learning moment for me. But so since that moment, we haven't pointed, because we learned that pointing's rude, and we don't point anymore, because we taught us that pointing's rude. Yet here we are, and now we're pointing, even though we know that it's rude, but yet we're pointing, and I'm trying to be nice, but she's still sitting there, Babe Ruth in this motherfucker. As I'm trying to explain to her, and finally I'm like, put your fucking finger down, you're being an asshole. She's like, you're just being sensitive. I'm like, well, you're being an asshole, but I can't say that to her, because she's my mom and she's old and she'll die. So I gotta bottle that emotion up, and that's not a healthy way to hang out with the ones you care about. You wanna be open and converse instead of just being like, if you fucking point at the fucking crippled guy. Gave me a high score in bowling, I'll tell you that much. It's like 113, but still, for me, that's good. Because the rage is a great focusing agent, because I'm like, give me a heavier ball. I was trying to rip my shoulder out of the side. You wanna point at something? Point at this spare, Ma. You point at this fucking spare. Ball's just sailing over the lane, going through the pins. Like my mom's, she's got like, she'll just make statements into this world that are clearly answers to some sort of cosmic interview that's been going on since I've been able to form memories. That's the only way I can explain statements. Like you might have somebody in your life, you know that they're in a room by themselves. Nobody's asked them anything, and they're not talking to you, but then you'll just hear something like, well, that's why they can't make popcorn on the space station. You're like, that's not for me to know. That's not for me to know. You tell that one to the ghosts. That trip that they were visiting me, it was a Saturday afternoon. We're all in my apartment. We're all sitting around drinking coffee, ignoring each other the way it should be. Lack of conversation doesn't mean lack of love. Just let me look at you. And from what my mother says in that absolute silent moment, I can only reverse engineer what this voice may have asked. And the best thing I can put together, the best question, is that this voice just popped up and said, hey, Deb, because my mom's name is Deb, because those are the names you get in the Midwest. Single syllable, possibly a verb. My parents' names are Pat and Deb. That has to have been a line dance at one point. We Pat and Deb. Pat, Pat, Deb, Pat, Pat, Deb. Sidestep Deb, Pat, Pat. You know, come on. My neighbors' names growing up were Chuck and Mert. That's clearly a fly fishing technique. Chuck it, Mert it back, Mert it. Question. Hey, Deb, how do you prefer to have postage delivered to your home? That's a real weird question. But it's the only one that makes sense. Because in the dead silence of that Saturday, my mother set down her coffee and just said, I'll tell you one thing, which, right there, that's not how you start. That's a retort. It also means you're about to hear several things. Absolute silence. I'll tell you one thing, I would never have a mail slot in my door, only a mailbox. Fucking okay. The family said nothing. But the voice clearly wasn't satisfied with that answer, has to follow up like, well, why is that, Deb? Explain yourself. Because then my mom stood up and said, because if you have a mail slot in your door, somebody could come by and put snakes in it. She's not wrong. But I'm just sitting there looking at her like, this is the woman you crave acceptance from. Maybe you gotta reassess what you want out of this relationship.